Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Good morning. Welcome to the virtual Milestone Anniversary Celebration. My name is Matt Main. I'm the president of the Carleton University Alumni Association, and I will be your MC today. On behalf of more than 165,000 members of the Carleton University Alumni Association, it is my great pleasure to welcome and congratulate each of you on the milestone anniversary of your graduation. I would like to say a special welcome to a few distinguished guests who have joined us today. Dr. Benoit Antoine Bacon, President and Vice Chancellor, Keith Shogren, and Willie Sallier, who are proud alumni and will be our special guest speakers today. Roberta Kremchinsky, Margaret Haynes, Carolyn Goodman, Christina Chenard, who are all dedicated CUAA volunteers, will also be hosting some class-specific breakout rooms later in the event. I would like to say a special thank you to Manulife Financial and Jostens, our generous affinity partners, who are supporters of Carleton and our sponsors for today's event. We are gathering today during Throwback, Carleton's homecoming. In addition to being a time to reminisce and look back on our shared experiences at Carleton, Throwback also provides an opportunity to reflect on the impact that the Carleton community makes in the world. During my years as a volunteer with the Carleton University Alumni Association, I've had the chance to meet and address thousands of alumni, from new graduates crossing the stage at convocation to grads like you who are celebrating the anniversary of your graduation from Carleton. I've had the opportunity to connect with alumni from all walks of life, hearing their stories and learning about their lives and achievements at Carleton and beyond. I've seen firsthand the impact that Carleton alumni like you have made in their communities, and that never ceases to amaze me. We have all walked different paths since our graduation, but we all share a desire to make the world a better place. So today, as we honor your milestone anniversaries and celebrate all that you've accomplished since graduation, we also want to thank you for continuing to be incredible ambassadors for Carleton University. Through the collective good that you've done, you serve as excellent role models for your peers and for the next generation of Carleton alumni. As part of this annual event, we have the pleasure of presenting milestone anniversary graduates with commemorative anniversary reunion pins, a small token of our gratitude for your contributions to your and our community. Following the event, pins will be mailed to those of you who expressed an interest in receiving them. We hope you wear the pins with pride and that they serve as a reminder of your lifelong connection to Carleton and your fellow alumni. Today, we'll have the opportunity to hear personal reflections and impact stories from a few graduates who have maintained a strong relationship with Carleton over the years. We hope that this too serves as a reminder of how we are all connected and how our professional journeys all began at the same place, here at Carleton. At the conclusion of our formal speaking program, we will transition to breakout rooms to allow you to reconnect with your milestone group and to share in some fun archival trivia. But first, I am so pleased to introduce Carleton's President and Vice Chancellor, Dr. Benoit Antoine Bacon, who has prepared a video message to welcome and congratulate you.
Good morning, everyone. Bonjour tout le monde, and thank you so much for joining our virtual milestone celebration today. I would like to begin by acknowledging that the land on which Carleton is situated is the traditional and unceded territory of the Algonquin Nation. I look forward to a time in the not-so-distant future where we'll be able to welcome you back to our beautiful campus and celebrate your accomplishments and milestones in person. But in the meantime, I'm pleased that we can continue this wonderful tradition in a virtual format. Every year, we host this special milestone event during Throwback, Carleton University's homecoming. We're so pleased to be able to open our virtual doors to all of you and celebrate our past, present, and future together. Among all the changes that we've had to collectively face over the last year, what remains unchanged is Carleton's ability to bring people together, build networks of support, community, and connection. That's what Throwback is all about. On behalf of the entire Carleton community, I'd like to congratulate each of you on the milestones you're celebrating today. In your careers and in your lives since Carleton, you've encountered challenges that you've had to overcome to get to where you are today. We hope that along with your education and all the memories, you've carried with you the same sense of resilience that is so central to Carleton's story. Resilience has been a guiding principle for Carleton since we were established in 1942. We were founded by the citizens of Ottawa during the turmoil of the Second World War. At the time, it was evident, and it's still evident, that higher education has a crucial role to play in rebuilding in time of crisis. Today, we find ourselves in a similar crisis, but it's also a time of opportunity. So in addition to congratulating you, I want to thank you. Thank you for being proud ambassadors of Carleton University throughout the years. Thank you for continuing to be active members of our community as engaged alumni, donors, volunteers, and friends. Thank you for upholding Carleton's values through your resiliency, community engagement, and dedication to excellence. Your accomplishments are your own. We can't and would never intend to take credit for all the good that you've done. But we're proud that we've been part of your journey, and we're honored that you continue to share a connection with us and with your peers. We're especially proud that through you and people like you, Carleton continues to make a difference. Thank you so much for joining us today. I look forward to see all the good things that we'll accomplish together in the future.
Thank you so much, President Bacon, for that inspiring message, of course, as we look to build back stronger. We will now hear from a representative of the 40th anniversary graduating class, Willie Sallier. Mr. Sallier is a practicing professional geoscientist with 36 years of experience within the energy and mining sectors. His career has included senior technical and executive positions within domestic and international private and public firms. In addition to his varied technical expertise, Mr. Sallier has extensive experience in project management, property valuations, as well as instituting investor relations strategies, marketing, and corporate development initiatives within North America and European jurisdictions. Mr. Sallier participates on a number of committees, including the Expert Witness Geoscience, Investigations Committee, ISET Joint Committee, Student Liaison, Mentor Program, and Student Science Fair, in addition to serving as a member at large within the Calgary Southern Branch Committee, which serves over 40,000 members. He is the current president of the Calgary chapter of the Carleton University Alumni Association and is a proud mentor in the Alumni Mentorship Program. Mr. Sallier is also an active member of the Canadian Society of Petroleum Geologists, the Society of Petroleum Engineers, Mining Exploration Geologists, and the American Association of Petroleum Geologists. Mr. Sallier is an active volunteer with Ducks Unlimited, the Royal Canadian Air Cadets, Mining Exploration Geologist Society, and has held senior volunteer positions with United Way and the Calgary Opera. Thank you, Willie, for joining us. On to you.
It is with great pleasure and honor to have this opportunity to address everyone as part of the Milestone Anniversary Celebration at Carleton University. My name is William Sallier. I'm a professional geologist, and I graduated in 1981. Reflecting back to share with you my story, broke it up into 4 almost equal segments as I try and capture 40 plus years of experience after graduation. Really, those first 4 years at Carleton University are the critical ones and most memorable and rewarding. Why? The relationships that were built, an understanding, appreciation for the care, attention of our professors, our instructors, our classmates, and everyone on campus that made it an amazing experience looking back. And it's still very fresh in my mind today. And I'll share with you why I say that. Upon graduation, the Carleton connection had an immediate impact, and that included my first career opportunity, obtaining my professional designation, and even stepping out into private business, my first engagement, all because in each case, they were also a Carleton grad of a different vintage. Moving ahead, continued one's career and continued developing those relationships and connections. And for the most part, at that time, it was more random. But as the conversation developed, where did you go to school? Carleton, really, Ottawa. It's an amazing connection, and it has built that network all through time. Over the next 10 years, there was involved in international travel, and once again, in conversation, universities come into play. And one side story I'll share with you that includes even having a chance to get invited to the Canadian Embassy in Delhi in India. And there was a room full of Carleton grads living, working in a foreign country. And I've soon come to appreciate there's an amazing number of Carleton graduates that are just making a difference out there in the world. Over the next period of time, coming back to Calgary, got involved with the events that Carleton alumni were putting on, and this was a chance to meet more of Carleton representatives, those also attending as guests, and then of course the various faculty, sports groups, and keynote speakers that were doing amazing things locally and around the world. I just didn't know. And that certainly opened up the mind and eyes to all of our attendees. And over those 8 years, no way in shape or form would I ever replace that level of involvement and engagement. That keeps your experience at Carleton very much alive. Moving ahead, becoming more and more conversant in the social media network. Immediately in one's profile, one sees where you graduated, and that becomes right out of the gate. What did you do? Where did you go? How was your experience? And what I share back is, are you involved? Are you engaged? Sometimes yes, a lot of times no. I encourage people to get involved, and when you interact with myself, you're going to get involved one way or another, and for the better, of course. As we look ahead, and anyone who is going to Carleton this upcoming year, either as a new participant entering a new degree or graduating or an advanced degree, I'll share this with you that it's please enjoy your time at Carleton. It's very easy to do that by staying engaged, getting involved, and with that, you'll develop an amazing network that you'll only benefit from, and they will benefit from your experiences as well. And through that, I can only say one thing. It's a lifelong experience. You will have the opportunity to build those relationships locally and around the world. And that will be with you throughout your entire career and your life. Stay involved. Thanks very much, and have an amazing year. Goodbye.
Thank you, Willie, for those motivating words and for reminding us all the value and importance in staying connected and engaged at Carleton. And a personal thank you so much for being a great ambassador and a great mentor in our alumni mentorship program. Our final cast representative speaking this morning is Keith Shogren, who is celebrating his 50th anniversary. Keith Shogren is a managing director at Investor Economics, a leading provider of research and advisory services to the financial services industry in Canada. In his role, Keith is responsible for identifying and managing consulting and research engagements with a wide range of financial institutions and businesses. Prior to joining the consulting profession in 1995, Mr. Shogren held a number of executive positions at CIBC, including Senior Vice President, Private Banking and Trust, and President of CIBC Securities. His banking career spanned retail banking, wealth management, and international banking. He has lived and worked in the United States, Iran, and the United Kingdom and Singapore. Mr. Shogren was educated at Carleton University and the University of Toronto. He is a fellow of the Institute of Canadian Bankers and holds the Partners, Directors, and Officers qualification of the Canadian Securities Institute. Mr. Shogren is the chair of the Advisory Council to the MPNL program at Carleton University. He is also a member of the Seniors Expert Advisory Committee of the Ontario Securities Commission, a member of the Investment Committee of the Centre for Addiction and Mental Health Foundation, and a member of the Executive Committee of the Emeritus Council of the Canadian Opera Company. Mr. Shogren is the author of a number of major reports on issues such as the transfer of wealth, women in wealth, and the HNW investor in Canada, as well as reports on the issue of women and philanthropy and donor-advised funds. Keith, thank you for joining us. Looking forward to hearing from you.
Hello, graduates from 1971. I'm Keith Shogren, one of those graduates. A year highlighted by Pierre Trudeau's wedding and the first major gay rights demonstration on Parliament Hill. We've come a long way. For me, the graduation ceremony by the banks of the Rideau River in June of 1971 was the end of one journey with Carleton and really the beginning of a second journey. My first journey started in 1968 when I registered for my first 5 classes, some of which I have to admit filled me with dread, given that I was 23, not 18, and I'd been out of the classroom for 4 years. And on top of that, the last classroom I sat in was a school in England. Fortunately, despite missing one first-year exam by a day, I survived the 3 years thanks to some wonderful professors, including Peyton Lyon, who taught me international politics, Michael Whittington, who clarified the convoluted world of the 3 levels of Canadian governments, and a not-to-be-named professor who enabled me to get a critical credit in German by being a regular and winning partner of mine on the squash court. I also survived by becoming involved in student life. And 2 things stand out for me there. One was my involvement as an actor and eventually president in the famous or infamous Carleton theatre company known as Sock and Buskin, the company that launched Dan Aykroyd's career on the stage, but didn't in fact launch my career on the stage. The other involvement I had in student life, in which I was decidedly less successful, was as the campaign manager for a candidate for the presidency of the Students' Council. I walked the tunnels, put up posters, organized rallies, but we failed and we didn't even come second. So no wonder I opted for a career in financial services and not politics. My second journey with Carleton didn't actually begin on the day I graduated, but in 1985, when I was invited to join the then active President's Advisory Council. Sitting as a member of this group was an eye-opener and put me in touch with a new group of academics and advancement professionals at the university. Subsequently, I accepted an invitation to be a member of the group that supported the establishment and first decade of the Arthur Kruger College of Public Affairs. 8 years ago, I was approached to join and chair the advisory council to the Master of Philanthropy and Nonprofit Leadership program offered through the School of Public Policy and Administration, a role that I am privileged to continue to fulfill. As a graduate, father of a graduate, my son Andrew did his master's degree in geography at Carleton, a volunteer, a donor, and a very loud and vocal supporter of the university. I'm proud of Carleton and the strides that it has made and the caring, inclusive, creative, and academically leading institution that it has become. I was on the campus a couple of weekends ago, and compared to what it was like in 1971, and for those who haven't been recently, this has changed enormously. And it's difficult to find that space where we all graduated in 1971. But for the past 53 years, I've been associated with Carleton, and I have no regrets, only good memories and many friends. It is a pity that we can't gather on campus to celebrate our 50th anniversary, but I wish you all well as we celebrate in our own way. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Keith. Those are very meaningful remarks. We are so proud of you. Thank you for sharing your memories with us and taking us on a walk down memory lane. So, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our formal program for today. In a few minutes, we're going to transition to the informal part of our program, which will take us to our Milestone specific breakout rooms, which will be hosted by Alumni Association volunteers. If you requested to have your commemorative anniversary pin mailed, it will be mailed as soon as we're able to do so. Before we officially open the breakout rooms, just a couple brief announcements. The first is to let you know that there are a number of upcoming events that offer ways to stay connected with Carleton during the ongoing pandemic, including the LEAP program. For over 20 years, the Lifelong Learning Program, also known as LEAP, has provided community members with affordable opportunities to learn for the love of it. Originally named the Learning in Retirement, the LEAP is a nonprofit program and open to adults of all ages. Imagine enjoying all the best parts of learning, something new from engaging educators and alongside other interested learners, but without prerequisites, exams or assignments, required readings, or grades. Each session offers unique lecture series and workshops, as well as single lectures taught by passionate and expert educators. Topics range from everyday physics, political science and memoir writing, to humanities, art, and music. Events are currently online and in future will be both in person and online, allowing participants and their loved ones to join from anywhere. Registration for the late fall session begins in October. Hope to see you there. The second is to announce the winner of our Jostens class ring. The winner for today is Stan Weiner. Congratulations, Stan, and thank you so much for joining us. I see you. Thank you all for joining us today for this virtual celebration. We look forward to celebrating in person again on campus when it is safe to do so. I hope you'll join us for more virtual throwback events next week. You can view the full schedule online at carleton.ca/throwback. For those of you who did not express interest in joining a breakout room, thank you for joining us today. For those of you who registered to attend a breakout room, please bear with us for a few minutes as we begin the process of opening the breakout rooms. You will receive the breakout room invitation shortly. See you in the breakout rooms.